Hi guys, Nikki from Innocent Teddies here, and in today's video I'm going to reveal how well my recent market went. So if you've watched my previous videos, you will know I've just done my first summer market of 2024, and in today's video I'm going to reveal to you how well it went. So like I discussed in my market prep video, I had quite a lot of small stock with me, as well as multiple big teddies and also decorative ones for my stall as well. For some context, if you aren't aware already, I'm from the UK and literally the weather was not on our side. The whole week beforehand it was pretty much torrential rain and the temperatures had dropped. Come the weekend, the day before, again it was literally torrential rain. At one point me and Pete literally thought the market was going to be cancelled because it just was non-stop all week. So pretty unusual for July, but classic UK weather. Luckily Sunday morning the weather did improve slightly. It was still drizzling I think in the morning, and then it just kind of remained cloudy but slightly warmer than it had been the rest of the week. So that definitely probably did have an impact on the market for sure. Last year's one, like I said, I did the exact same one last year and it was bright sunshine, so it was like heaving, it was packed, and there was a lot more stalls there. This year there wasn't as many stalls, it was a lot smaller, and there definitely wasn't as many people or footfall as last year, and I do think that was probably down to the weather. So that was one thing. I did find that the setup was super smooth. Now I've done a couple of markets and I've got kind of the idea of how I set things up. I do find the setup a lot quicker now. So how I set my market stall up is I'm fortunate to have borrowed my parents' table and gazebo, and I do need to invest in my own at this rate because I've been doing so many markets. I have then invested in an Amazon tablecloth. These stretchy tablecloths are so good. They come in a pair, so not only was it really good because you're able to have a spare if one gets dirty, but they're so good because they stretch over any shape of tables. They look really professional and they just give a really nice clean finish, so I definitely recommend them for any market stall. Again, I'll put a link in the description below for that tablecloth because I do definitely swear by that. The only thing I would say is because it is quite stretchy, sometimes you can kind of see underneath. So where we put our suitcases underneath the desk, you can sometimes see that from a distance, but if that's not going to bother you, then I wouldn't worry about it, but just so you're aware if you are interested in those sort of things. I then have also invested in these cubes, again from Amazon, and these cage cubes are so good. You can get them in all sorts of different colours. I went for the white just so it goes nice with my pink tablecloth, but yeah, they just make it look so professional. You can have it off the table as well, so it gives me a lot more space to put all my teddies and display them all. I really like how interactive it kind of is, and it kind of frames the table. It gives different dimensions and height, so I definitely would really recommend anyone that's looking to kind of spice their tables up with these because they're really good to hang things off, they're really good to lean things against, and you can literally design them in all different shapes. So I kind of go for this frame kind of around me, just so I can still talk to people through. But yeah, you can definitely just have them on one side, or you don't have to have it across, or you could have literally them all just on a cage on their own beside the table. So I really like the freedom and that they can do such a variety of different shapes. So they're definitely a really good investment that I've had as well, and I've got so much use out of them. Again, they're really easy to put up and put down. They can be a little bit stiff at first when you're first getting used to them, but they're really easy to get used to. The next thing I swear by is I just use different kind of almost containers and stands. So I have this kind of basket thing, which I think I got from like a bath bomb birthday set, but I've now just kind of recycled into my whale container for my markets. I just think it looks really nice, again professional, keeps all the whales in one place. I then have another little I think just a kitchen bowl for my mushrooms. So again, it's just keeping things in place and together, but also just adding more dimension and interest to the market stall. I then have, again, an Amazon purchase. They just are little platforms that are really nice for like the standalone teddies or anything you want to just display on their own, and they give them at different heights. Sometimes it's easy for teddies that are the same heights to kind of get lost behind each other, so it's nice to have varying heights so that they can all still be seen when they're all on the table. And apart from that, they're the main like equipment or materials that I invested in when I started my markets. The only other thing I would say that is kind of essential is like obviously signing. So I had so many signs of prices, letting people know that I take card and cash, pointing people in the direction of like my social media links or QR codes, logo, like my names. Yeah, so like loads of signs is really good, so people that may be more nervous or don't really want to kind of interact or ask questions can see straight away how expensive things are, or if they're not too interested in buying, they can also see your social media links as well. So yeah, they are my main things that I would recommend for anyone doing their market. Signage is really important, but also how you display your market definitely, I think, has some sort of difference as well. And if you're confident in your market setup, then obviously you're going to put out that confidence to your customers as well. We got set up so quick that we actually had quite a bit of time beforehand to do a few silly reels for my Instagram, so be sure to check those out.
Beautiful, these are... Oh my god!
I had some really nice interactions with the customers. There was a lot of people that complimented me on some of my make. Pete promoted my YouTube tutorials to many people, and I did have a lot of interest in like all the social media aspects and the YouTube. So it was really nice to kind of get people's feedbacks and compliments, also kind of get that recognition that a lot of hard work does go into it. That was really nice. I was also lucky enough to have all my family there. So we went with Pete's sister. She was selling her handmade jackets. I'll do a link to her Instagram in the description below, so you guys can check out her handmade painted jackets. They're really cool. And also my family came and visited as well, which I was super appreciative, as always. So what I did say in my previous video was, like I said, I had done this market before, and I was kind of curious to see if people that may have bought last year would then buy again. And it was quite nice that some people had remembered me and they come up and said, oh, I gave so-and-so to my friend, I still have your so-and-so turtle from last year. So it was really nice to hear that my teddies are kind of holding up well, but also that people remembered, so that was really nice. But I definitely, again, do feel like that had an effect on this market. So because people had already purchased, I did have pretty similar, if not the same, small items available. So those who probably had purchased last year didn't have many options to then purchase this year, or just weren't interested. So that's kind of good to know. Maybe for next year, if I do it again, I'll try and do some different smaller items, but also maybe I just need to start expanding and going to different locations now, and be a bit more brave and reach out a bit further. So yeah, that was really interesting to see. Literally last year, my turtles flew off. I think I sold about 10 plus turtles, so hence why I was going OTT with making so many turtles. So I'll go into detail about all the different number of items I sold soon, but I know on the top of my head I sold, I think, only 2 turtles. So yeah, definitely not as popular as last year, but yeah, I do feel like that's because maybe the main people that were there had already purchased them before. So that was just good to know and kind of interesting to see. But if we now move on to what did I sell? Okay, so starting off with my big items, I actually didn't sell any big items. I think the largest payment I got was £30, but that was for like multiple small items. So all in all, this was my first market that I've done that I didn't actually sell one of my big teddies. So that was a big surprise as well. In my previous markets, I have had some interest in the bigger items, but again, it's just hit and miss on what you're going to find, but it is common that the smaller items are more popular. I think the average spend was about, if not less than 10, around £10. So yeah, I'm going to try, if I do markets, or if you guys do markets, I would say try and keep them either under £10 or around £10, because that's the most that people are willing to kind of spend or part with. So as for my little items, I sold 7 whales, which I was really pleased with, 2 turtles, like I said, 4 jellyfish, 6 mushrooms, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I did say that I've done booties and hats, and I was interested because this is the first time I have put booties and hats on my market stalls. I actually only sold 1 pair of booties, so all of that market prep, making like 4 in different colours and all of this stuff, I was a bit gutted, not gonna lie. So I don't know, I'm trying to kind of not problem solved, because I don't think it was an issue, but there were a lot of newborns there. So obviously I think I'd done them like for 3 months old, like 0 to 3 months. So a lot of the people that did have babies said, oh, okay, they're too big. And then you get the classic people of, oh, I don't have anyone to buy for, or don't have any grandchildren small enough to buy for anymore. So I think that one's going to be a hard one to kind of get the target audience for sure. But at the same time, I've still got loads of stock left for my next market, so I don't have to bother about making any more of those for my next market. So that's kind of the positive. But yeah, I definitely was intrigued that I didn't sell as many, nearly as many as I thought. But yeah, I think that's just down to target audience, and again, there not being as many as last time. Possibly, I think what would be cool would maybe do a Christmas market. I think they would be quite nice for Christmas markets, even though they're probably more like baby shower presents. I do think maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that was really interesting. Only one yellow booty was sold, so that's good to know. But I wouldn't let it put you off making them if you are interested in making them, because I'm sure at some point at one of my markets they will go. So yes, that was good to know. Apart from that, I just sold a few odd bits here and there, a few of my bigger teddies, but again, they weren't more than like £12.50. So either I'm underselling myself, or yeah, it just wasn't the day. But I think the weather definitely had a big impact. Also, what I noticed as well, what I found really interesting was, again, last year I had a lot of card payments. So I have a sum up machine, and I would definitely recommend it. It was really easy to use, and they've actually started to do pay by phone now, so you don't even need to use the machine or Bluetooth when it turns on. Sometimes it was a bit of a faff when it disconnected and you needed to log back on your phone and disconnect it, all while you're trying to serve the customer. So this time it was a lot smoother and a lot easier. You could just tap pay, and it literally, you do it on the phone. So they tap their card on your phone. Technology is just super weird, but it was, yeah, really impressive to see and really a lot easier to use. So that was cool. But yeah, card payments this year was like really low. A lot of people were paying with cash, which again, from my previous markets, is almost the complete other way around. Most people are like, oh, I've only got card. So that kind of threw us. We did take obviously a little bit of cash for change, but we soon ran out of this change so quickly, so much so we had to keep going and buying cupcakes and things and drinks to kind of break our pound notes. So again, maybe profit would have been a bit better if we didn't have to keep buying cakes. It was good nourishment throughout the day, keep the energies up. No, I think also I probably made it difficult for myself making the turtles and the whales £6.50 and constantly needing 50p's for the change. So yeah, that's something to note for my next market. So card payments, I had £145 on the card and £105 in cash. So all in all, my total for this market this time was £250, which for a day's work is really good. I'm impressed. Obviously it's not my biggest market revenue takeaway, but yeah, still really good, especially considering the weather. But yeah, still £250 for a rainy day in July was definitely a good takeaway. And the positive is I still have a lot of stock for the next time. So the plan is to hopefully find a few more markets in summer, hopefully do that with my sister-in-law as well. It's nice having someone there on the stall next to you that you can kind of chat to when things do kind of dip down and there's not many customers, so that was cool. If anyone has any tips or things like that that they want to discuss in the next market, I'm thinking of doing just a video based on how I set up my market, what specifically I use, kind of putting all the links in that video, just because I'm aware I kind of talk about it in the previous one a little bit now. So I'm going to do a whole video to consolidate all that information so people can make their market stalls nice and pretty and find the links in that video. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask, I'll try and answer them in that video coming up soon. So drop your comments and your questions about markets or prep questions all in the comments below, and then I'll try and answer them for you in that video. I hope you guys found that useful, and I will see you later. Bye.